Most people in their 50s believe that their earning years, that their best earning years are already behind them, that they are too old to learn new skills. They are too old and too late to start a business. They also feel that they are too invisible in the new internet economy, which is bustling with young people. But what if I told you that the opposite is true? But see, people in their 50s who contact me already feel the best is behind them. And then a lot of people do not have too much hope. Somebody sent me a message, she's 54, and she said, Mr. Obo, can I still make it at 54? Wow, yes, and more than yes. 54, you are still a very young woman. And the reason what I'm telling you tonight is so important for those of you in their 50s is that given the way that people are living longer these days, I'm telling you, it's amazing to me. I go to the village, I see all the obituaries floating around the place. People dying 103 years, 95 years, 90-something. An in-law just died at 94. My mother-in-law passed on at 95. And then you see all these old people in their 90s. And so if you're 50, chances that you're going to be here in another 40 years are very high. This is why you need to pay attention to what I'm telling you. I'm in my 50s as well. And it's also very interesting that most people who follow me are over 50. Yeah, my analytics show me that I have many people, many of you following, who are between 50 and even 70, because the analytics shows 65 plus. Quite a significant number. And you see, this demographic usually feels that life has left them behind and that they can no longer earn, that their earning years are behind them. But I want to show you tonight that is very, very incorrect. So, but the first mindset, whether you're 50 or you're 40 or 35 or even 25 watching, age is an asset. Please type it in the comment section as usual. Age is an asset. Stop seeing age as a liability. My goodness, I can never trade my 59-year-old self for my 25. No way. No way. Age is an asset. I'm telling you, there are so many things you can command in your 50s if you only wake up to it, like I'm going to show you tonight. I'm going to show you so much you can command. You have an asset, but you don't know what it is. So after studying hundreds of success stories, since I quit Shell, I've discovered that your 50s might actually be the most powerful time to build wealth. That indeed is my experience. The 50s are the most powerful time to build wealth. That's been my experience. In fact, in my 50s, I've earned far much money than I have in all my previous years put together. In fact, there was a time I earned in my 50s, I earned in one weekend what Shell paid me in 1 year. Powerful. I earned in one weekend, in fact, more than what Shell paid. That was much more than what Shell paid me in a whole year. And Shell was a high-paying job, like many of you knew. In one weekend. And then sometimes in 1 hour. In one weekend of coaching, in one weekend of facilitating a retreat, I earn more than I was paid in 1 year. In one weekend. So age is an asset, and that's what I want to emphasize in our studies today. So, why do this? Why do you have to pay attention to what I'm telling you tonight? I've already given you some compelling. If nothing I've said is so compelling, at least remember that in my 50s I've earned far much more money than all my younger years put together. And then this one, that in one weekend I earned more than Shell, oil and gas company, paid me in 1 year. In one weekend. So don't underestimate your 50s. And even your 40s. Type it in the comment section. I will not underestimate my 50s. If you're in your 40s, put 40s there. Because age, as I'm going to prove to you, is never a liability. Age is an asset. And I do not know why in this part of the world, here in Africa, I do not know why we do so much age shaming. The other day, I saw how somebody was age shaming a particular Nigerian actress. I forget her name, but she's quite popular. I forget her name momentarily. So somebody was age shaming her. Oh, that you are no longer what you... How will she be like what she was in her 20s and then in her teenage years? We age shame people unnecessarily. Okay, the other study I want to bring to your notice before we go into the 11 minutes, I'm going to try to share the 7 systems that you can use to build wealth in your 50s. By the time I finish, you will discover that there's none of these 7 systems. So I created them into systems, into wealth generating systems that you can apply in your 40s, in your 50s, and then some of you who follow me who are even in your 60s. Okay, your mind will be blown tonight. Your mind is going to be blown, and something is going to wake up in you that you didn't know you had. Oh my goodness, 50s, amazing. 60s, amazing. 40s, even amazing. Do not underestimate that. Okay, so now, before I launch into the 7 systems, into the 7 wealth creation systems for people in their 50s, let me bust 3 myths. 3 myths that people in their 50s commonly have. I'm in my 50s, so I meet fellow 50s, and I'm just shocked, amazed as to how much these myths and these beliefs are limiting people in this age group. The first one, and if you recognize it, just type "that's me" in the comment section. The first one is, I don't understand technology. I have met people in their 40s and 50s who just feel defeated, even to open an email. They have to rely on their children, or they are just scared about technology, even to open email, even to use an internet browser to search for something, even for something as simple as use Google Map to drive around. Okay, so there are people who just feel, I don't understand technology. But the truth is, you don't really need to code. You don't have to be a coder. All the things you're talking about, you want to do, and I'm going to show you. There's so many things that you can do without coding today that we couldn't do just 10, 15 years ago. And when you use simple tools like Canva, even like Zoom, you can do a lot. Even like YouTube, you can do a lot. The second myth that people in their 50s and sometimes in their 40s have is, no one will hire me at this age. If that's you, say that's me. Say that's me. You say no one will hire me at this age. But the truth is that the gig economy loves experience. They love experience. When it comes to coaching, to consulting, to freelancing, the gig economy loves experience. So they love you. The third myth that people in their 50s and their 40s have in their head is, it's too risky to start now. How can I start a business now? How will I start that now? How will I start consulting and coaching now? It's too late. Says who? The truth is that the real risk is that doing nothing will hurt you. Doing nothing will cause you to run out of your savings. And you see how fast savings are going because of inflation and everything. So what you could do 2 years ago with 100,000 naira, you can't do it today with 500. All right. So now, having busted these 3 myths, let's go into the 7 systems. So actually, let me set my clock to 11 minutes and my countdown to 11 minutes. All right. I think this is hurting my... Okay. Let's just go. Let's dive into it. Okay. Into the 7 systems where your age is an advantage, not a liability. So now, Seneca, the Roman philosopher, said something that applies to you, all of you in your 50s and also in your 40s. Seneca says that luck, and many of us have heard it. He said luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. I'm sure you've heard that before. Brian Tracy popularized it in a couple of people. So luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Now, you are 50, you are in your 50s. You are not late. you are prepared. So you already have one part of it. You already have the preparation part. What I'm going to give you right now is the opportunity, so that as you're listening and watching this video later on YouTube and here on Facebook, you already have preparation, 50 years of preparation. What you just lack is opportunity. And I'm going to give you 7 opportunities right now. The first one, so type it in the comment section, type it, make a note of it. The first one is the knowledge monetization system. Type it. That's the first system for people in their 40s and 50s to use to make money. Knowledge monetization system. This is powerful, and that's what I'm using. Okay, so I use a combination of the systems that I'm going to share with you, and it's powerful. What is a knowledge monetization system? Is basically the system that allows you to turn your years of experience into cash flow. Type in the comment section, turn experience into cash flow. Okay, so whether you have been you've built your expertise in project management, in baking, like I have a friend, who is a master baker. She's actually excellent. Whether it is parenting, conflict resolution, people would pay for your wisdom. So package what you know into online courses and ebooks and paid webinars or coaching. I earn money literally every day from my knowledge products. These are parts of the things that we do during the Financial Fitness Challenge, packaging your knowledge into cash flow. And there's so many platforms that allow you to do that. Teachable, the Zoom, the Substack, the Seller. I use Seller. And so you are sleeping, but you have all this knowledge, ebooks, courses. Even when you are sleeping, people are buying it and paying you. I wake up every morning and I see payout from Seller. People who have bought books are put there. So this is powerful for people in his 50s. And you see, your knowledge and experience is far more powerful than the knowledge of 25-year-old. There are brilliant 25-year-olds, but we might write the same things. But my perspective is so rich. It's been enriched over the years. So when I write on a topic and a 25-year-old person writes on that topic, some of you read my Monday morning meditations. If you have read them, just comment in the section what it feels like when you read my post, or even when you are listening to me as I'm speaking to you right now. The experience is powerful. All right. Carl Jung says, you are what you do, not what you say you will do. Type it in the comment section. You are what you do, not what you say you will do. So your first course or your coaching session doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to exist. Action proves your expertise, not credentials. Action proves your expertise, not your credentials. So who cares? My CV, I have a degree, I have a PhD in this, I have certification in such and such, I have professional something. Who cares? Who cares? It's action that proves it, not just the credentials, not just the way they introduce you when you go for a party or something. Oh, this person, MNN, BSc, this PhD. No, that doesn't mean anything. So take action. The second system number 2, is the digital marketing system. So you can type that in the comment section, the digital marketing system. All right. So you don't even need to be the expert. You just need to be the connector. So in this particular module, you have digital services, digital marketing services that you offer, for instance, to small businesses. Social media management, email campaign, WhatsApp marketing, there are all kinds of things that people are using to make a lot of money. Okay. In fact, in the previous system, combined with this one, I have a woman who I've paid to coach me. She is in her 40s. She, last year, just from knowledge system alone, she made over 260 million. Just from knowledge system alone, selling her courses, her programs, and her books. And she showed me the back end, the money that she makes from the back end in her ebooks. Some months 600K, some months 3 million, some months just from one stream. So the digital marketing reseller system, all right. So you can offer this to small businesses, and then you have platforms like Fiverr, like Upwork, like Canva. And then there's MailChimp. So businesses need help online. And, you're building a business without needing to be tech savvy. You can actually just focus on getting the clients, and then you outsource the technical part. You just outsource and then supervise it. System number 3, the micro e-commerce system. So you sell curated products, not clutter. You can start a small online stores selling products around the niche you care for. So I have clients who do natural skincare product, natural beauty hair product. They make things from coconut, they make things from shea butter and all that. And they're doing very well. So you can package something like that. And of course, you can use platforms like Etsy, Shopify, even Flutterwave, Flutterwave. All right. And then you need just small capital to be able to do this. System number 4, type it in the comment section. The Wisdom for Hire consulting system. Wisdom for Hire consulting system. So this particular system, you're renting out your brain, okay, not your back. So you offer advisory services to younger entrepreneurs, to younger organizations or parents and things like that in your field. Okay, so you are a part-time expert. You don't have to have you don't need a new skill. This is something that you already have. You're packaging it into a value proposition. You can put it in your LinkedIn profile and people can hire you, for wisdom. So LinkedIn already is a fantastic place because many times I post something on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, you need to be active. I post something on LinkedIn and people DM me, oh, we saw your post. Can we do this together? Okay, can you do that for me? All right. In ancient China, gray hair was seen, and in fact, even in Africa, as a badge of honor. So it's a sign, according to them, that the gods have intentionally preserved you and spared you long enough to learn. So your wrinkles and flaws, they are proof of your mastery. So you should charge accordingly. System number 5, the skill stacking side gig system. So you learn one profitable skill and use it part-time. So pick one practical skill. People in their 50s feel that, goodness gracious me, that they can't learn skills. Who told you can't learn new skills? In fact, the cornerstone of your survival and your thriving in your 50s is continuous learning. Continuous learning. Because some of ways, for instance, that we did bookkeeping 20 years ago when you were still active in your career, it's not the way it's done today. There are so many apps that make life easy, that automate things you used to do in 1 week. There are apps that do it right now for 5 minutes and you get it done. So learn skills. You can learn these skills. You can say, for instance, 60 to 90 days, you're going to give yourself, set a goal to learn a skill. Even something as simple as learning to use Canva. All right. And then you can find these courses where you learn skills in Coursera, Skillshare, and then different places. So your age does not matter. The clients don't care how old you are. They care about your results. And it is true, even in medicine. How have you felt when sometimes, you go to see a doctor and then this doctor is just a young 23-year-old that just finished from medical school? It feels different from when you enter a room and you are seeing this 75-year-old doctor who has all these years behind him. It feels different. And it's the same, profession. And it's also the same when you are stacking your skills. Number 6, the 6th system is the rental income system. So you earn while you sleep. So if you own a home or you own land, you can rent out space. You can rent out space. There's so many things you can rent out. It could be property, it could be storage, it could be, so some of us have land. Like it happened to me. You have a plot of land somewhere that you're not using. And then some women are using it, to farm or something, rental economy. There's so many things you can rent. You can buy machines like, in this community, the palm fruit processing machines are very expensive, for the natives. The cassava grating machines are very expensive, for the natives to buy. So what can you do? You buy several of those machines and then rent it out. So people come there, they make their cassava, or they process their palm oil, and then they pay for it. I have seen also, in fact, I bought one, palm kernel cracking machines. People can buy them because it's quite pricey, for the local people. So it cracks the palm kernel. So I bought one. And then what people do, when you go to crack your palm kernels, they charge you per this cement bag of palm kernel. So they will charge like 500 naira or something for one. And you have several bags in a day. You can do that confidently in your 40s and in your 50s. And then finally, the seventh one, the financial fix plus compounder system. So I call this financial fix plus compounder because while you are doing all these things, you still need to maintain financial discipline and then basic financial principles. You would imagine that people in their 40s and 50s have learned about money and how it works. But unfortunately, it's not like that. Because I see people in their 40s and 50s, they sit down and drink 5 bottles and 6 bottles of beer, talking with friends. I've seen this. And I'm wondering, are these people, are these people, are they thinking? So if you did that in your 20s, you can't be doing that in your 50s. So you have to make your money to work with you, so work for you. And so even with a little income, you can build wealth consistently over time. So this is where you also want to play in the financial markets. It's very helpful to invest, for instance, in the stock market, because most of us, before our 40s and 50s, we've been focusing mostly on the labor market, the job market. We were employed and we worked. And some of us don't have any portfolio in the financial markets. You don't have stock portfolios. You don't have stocks in your portfolio. You don't have real estate. And then you're in your 50s. Remember, I already told you, you're likely to be here for another 40 years. So you start right now. Now, what this system, the financial fix plus compounder system, means is that even in your 40s and 50s, you still need to obey the rules of money. There is a part that you must put aside to invest, to compound your wealth. You cannot finish everything because every income, whether you are 20 or you're 50, every income that comes into your account is split into two. One is seed, the other one is bread. So you just want to make sure that you do not eat your seed. What do you do with seed? You plant seed. What do you do with bread? You eat the bread part. But see, a lot of people, money comes into your life. You eat the bread and then you eat the seed and then wonder why you don't have anything. Dan Favor says, Coach, I am in Australia, but I don't have business ideas. What can I do, sir? Please join the Financial Fitness Challenge. This is exactly what we do. Because in the Financial Fitness Challenge, it's not just that I'm mentoring you, but you also meet people from different places. Last Financial Fitness Challenge, we had, I believe it's like 50 people. People from the United States, people from the UK, we've had people from Gambia, people from South Africa in different cohorts. So, and it's a rich network. So join, because by the time we are going through the plenaries, and then you're also part of, sometimes we divide you into syndicates of 4. And as you're talking with other people in the Financial Fitness Challenge, you're learning a lot. And you're also having ideas coming to your mind. There's no lack of ideas. There's so many things. And then these 7 systems that I've talked about, you can always go back and then take a look at them. All right. So you can use tools like platforms like licensed stockbrokers, using licensed stockbrokers, or using apps like Bamboo or Cowrywise. So every month or every week, you invest in a particular dividend paying stock, or you in a blue chip, as some people call it. So you compound your wealth over time, because when you start it at 50 and then you do it consistently for like 10 years, like what I'm doing, I'm not selling, I'm buying some particular stocks that I'm holding for 10 years, for 20 years. It's amazing what if you buy some stocks right now that you're in your 50s. It's amazing that when you now turn 70 or 75, you will be totally free. And stop banking on your children. Stop banking on your children, like many of us, do. So you need to plan for your future. And so the good things, for instance, people who bought UBA just a little over 2 years ago, it was like 8 naira. UBA is doing 37 naira, about 37 naira now. Can you imagine if you bought 1 million shares of UBA? That would have been 8 million just 2 years ago. Today, that 8 million has turned into 37 million. Can you imagine? I mean, within 2 years. So that's how people are quietly getting rich. And in your 50s, 40s, you can confidently do this and put this money there every time. By the time you turn 70, you will amaze yourself. There's no place you want to take a holiday, take your wife for a holiday, that you cannot do it. There's no place you want to go. There's no food you want to eat that you cannot do. There is no one you want to help. You have much more money than you can spend to help people, less privileged people. One of my mentors, Elder Okoro, should be 93 or 94 this year. The man ordered some of my books, the books I wrote for young people, ordered my books and sent to his village, sent to his local government. And there are people in their 70s who have bought books, my books, the book I wrote for the young people, and sent to their local governments. So I remember, so these people have money in their 70s because they put it down in their 50s. So it's not late. It's the good time to begin. All right? Okay. So in conclusion, your next chapter, financially speaking, isn't about age. It's about choice. Please type it in the comment section. My next chapter isn't about age, it's about choice. So I hope, like we used to say when we were in primary and secondary school, when we were debating, I hope with these few points of mine, I have been able to convince you and not to confuse you that the best time to make money is in your 40s and then in your 50s. And this is a very perfect point to invite you to the Financial Fitness Challenge, because the Financial Fitness Challenge is my mentorship group. I do not have time to be attending to each of you one by one. So many of you send me messages, you DM me, you want me to coach you. I don't have that kind of time. And if I have to do it, it's expensive for you, because a session with me one-on-one starts from $300. Starts from, not that it is, $300. But when you come into the group that I'm mentoring and coaching, it costs you only 125,000 naira or $125 to join. We are currently enrolling. And the good news for you is that we are still having the early access, the early bird, which knocks out 20,000 K, from it. So it's 105. If you pay tonight, in a couple of days, the early access will be gone. So you can DM me for the payment details as you're listening to this, and I will show you that. And you can also send a WhatsApp message. You're going to see it on your screen on YouTube. You can send a WhatsApp message and then say, send me the payment details. And then you can join us from whatever part of the world you are. It's virtual. It's actually for 3 days, but before the 3 days, you go through exercises, and then you're given worksheets that will help you to prepare for the 3 days of accelerated income growth. And so I'll be hoping to see you in the Financial Fitness Challenge. But whatever happens, keep showing up, because you have no idea what's coming your way next. See you same time tomorrow. Bye.